Ron Shelton is back with us now. His book is The Church of Baseball, The Making of Bull Durham. He also, in the book, describes a terrible audition for an actor that somehow still got the part. And that actor was Robert Wuhl, friend of the show, who's joining us now. Ronnie, tell us about that first. Let's bring Robert in, but what was Robert's audition like?
It was so far over the top that I thought he was on as many greenies and speed that we used to take in the minor leagues to stay awake. And he was just talking about everything from Tim McCarver to William Bendix to Gary Cooper, and he never shut up. It was 100 miles an hour, bouncing off the walls. And when he left the room, the casting director turned to me and she said, "I'm so sorry I brought him in. That was the worst audition I've ever seen." I said, "I think it was the worst audition I've ever seen, and I want you to hire him immediately." And she thought I was nuts. And she said, "Why?" And I said, "Because what he just did, you can't teach. I can coach it, but I can." And Robert not only was great in the movie, he's been in other movies of mine, and we became close friends.
Robert, is that true? Is that what it was like? What was your audition like?
I think he's accurate. I think he's 100% accurate. I had no lock on the character, and I had spoken the night before because Larry didn't have that many lines. The coach really didn't have that much to say. So I spoke to my acting guru, the late, great Bruno Kirby, the night before, and he gave me the advice that it seems to him that the pitching coach goes everywhere, that the manager would rise up through the ranks. So I thought, okay, he's a yes man. So then, and I knew all that hum baby stuff. My dad was an athlete and played ball. So yes, everything he says is 100% true. And because of that terrible audition, I owe a good part of my career to that guy. I mean, no, without a doubt. And I've never thanked him this much publicly, and I've always meant to, Ron. I mean, between that and, of course, Cobb, and thank you for MLB Network for keeping us both in residuals.
Robert, tell us about the scene. Candlesticks make a nice gift. We put that out there, but that you had to collaborate that. That was your ad lib. Tell us about that.
What had happened was a week before the shooting started, I had a wedding I had to go to. And my wife, I said, "What do I get these people for a wedding present?" And she suggested the candlesticks always made a nice gift, or find out where she's registered, maybe a place where similar wear pattern. So I just threw it away. And then when the scene came up, as Ron will tell you, it was the last scene at night, and it was cold, and it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and we always shot what was in the script, always. And then Ron said, "Okay, do one for yourself," and everybody stayed in character. We had 2 cameras on it. And we shot it, and everybody stayed in character. And then the next day at Dailies, it was also the last shot because of Dailies. And then when it came up, everybody broke up. And I thought, oh, that's kind of cool to see, but I'm never going to see it again because I know too many filmmakers who would say, "Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's in character, but I didn't write it, and it's not staying in my movie." And,
right.
And the great ones, Tim Burton, Barry Levinson, Ron Shelton, they're the exceptions.
Ron, you knew, right? Tell us about that. You knew that was the keeper.
Oh, one take. I knew it was in the movie, and suddenly the scene had an unexpected button. And he solved my wedding gift-giving problems for the rest of my life. So I owe Robert on that. There was never any doubt about that line to me.
Wow. Robert, what was it like on the set? Just give us some behind the scenes. Like you like to think that you all get along. Did you? What was it like?
Yes, we did all get along. It was great camaraderie. It was terrific. Tim wasn't a star then, so he was with us. Kevin and Susan had their own places, but we all went to parties together. We all hung out together. It was a ball club. Ron treated it as the ball club, and also the other guy who deserves credit is the late Trey Wilson, who played the skipper, the manager. And he and I had the same acting teacher down in Houston. But it was a great time. And we knew we were doing good work. We had no idea the success it would have. It's a baseball movie. But we did know that we were doing really good work.
Yeah, Robert, you first on this. Why do you think it's aged so well? Like, why do you think 30-something years later we're watching it holds up?
Because of the behavior and relationships of the characters. And as Ron says, it's not about the big game. There's no big game. Your best sports movies are not about big games. I mean, Ron, we'd always agreed on this. And also, he helped me because of what I learned from him, I took to Arliss. So I think it's a terrific script. First of all, the prose. The prose is great. It's a great, and it's honest, and it's about middle America, and it's about dreams. And you don't like it's, you don't always, you get what you dream for, but maybe something else comes along.
And Ron, you say you still get reaction from people name their children after the characters in the movie, right?
At least there's a couple in North Carolina who did, and that's one of the reasons I said I got to write a book, because I was down there. It's in the introduction, and the couple, I was doing a Q&A at the ballpark for the 30th anniversary, and the couple said they moved to Durham because of the movie, which seemed fairly extreme to me. And could they take a picture with their two sons? And I did. And I asked the boy, 10-year-old, what's your name? And he says, the mom says, go ahead and tell him. He says, I'm Crash. And I looked at his younger brother and said, I'm afraid to ask. And he said, yeah, I'm Nuke. So I thought, this movie somehow is got into the blood and the DNA of the country. So, I want to say to Robert, the job of the manager of a baseball team or of a movie set, we got along great, the crew, the cast, but all these battles that the movie was about, I'm trying to keep away from the cast and crew. Although when the director of photography was fired in the middle of a scene, they knew something was up. But it's my job to protect them, and it's the producer's job to protect me. And I'm not sure. I think I did a better job of protecting than the producers did. But that's also not uncommon for a movie to be having these battles. Look, I got great support from the cast and crew. We were all on the same page. And I do approach it like I'm coaching or managing a team.
Well, I love the book. Ron, I'm so glad you wrote it, and I think there's so many fans out there that will dig it. We'd love to do it again. Ron Shelton, thank you so much. Robert, good talking to you again. We'll have you on again. Take care.
Always, buddy.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Robert, good to see you guys. Thanks, guys.